Happy Pi Day. My name is Jeremy Bensabat, and I'm a Senior Product Manager at AWS Data Exchange. And I'm excited today to talk about how you can accelerate time to insight with AWS Data Exchange for Amazon S3. Data teams spend 80% of their time on the sourcing and preparing data for use, instead of the actual data analysis. Finding the data that you need, getting it, and preparing it for use is time-intensive, labor-intensive, and just plain difficult. And providing data is just as hard. For organizations distributing their data to customers, or as we call them, data providers, finding customers, preparing data offerings, delivering it, and billing for it can be burdensome. These barriers prevent organizations that have valuable data from making it available to third parties. Finding, preparing, and using data on the cloud, where more and more of it is being generated and stored, should be easy. And this is why we launched AWS Data Exchange as part of AWS Marketplace, to bridge the gap between providers and subscribers exchanging data, helping customers lower costs, become more agile, and innovate faster. We help organizations find the data they're searching for with our curated catalog, including over 3,500 public products from over 300 data providers. We also support custom and private products for situations when customers want data that is not in the public catalog. We have over 2,000 free public data products for customers that want to try before they buy, and support private data trials as well. And we support data deliveries via file, tables, and APIs. So customers can start using the data they want in production as soon as they license it, without spending months building data ingestion pipeline to get it there. And we're proud to say that AWS Data Exchange is the most comprehensive data service, enabling providers to securely deliver data 3 ways, via files, tables, and APIs. When we launched AWS Data Exchange in 2019, we launched it with the most requested delivery type functionality, version file-based datasets. Once a dataset is exported to S3, customer can use AWS services to transform it into tables for use with analytics and machine learning services, to get insight out of that data, or integrated with third-party tools and software. We then launched data delivery via Amazon Redshift, APIs, and AWS Lake Formation. But data analysts, developers, data scientists, and researchers are conducting analysis on increasingly larger file-based datasets. We've heard from this customer that creating and managing copies of files can be impractical. And this is why we're excited to announce today the general availability of AWS Data Exchange for Amazon S3. This feature enables customers to easily find, subscribe to, and use third-party files directly from data providers' Amazon S3 buckets. With this launch, we're unlocking new use cases for subscribers to use petabytes of images, music, or genomics without having to move a single byte. So let's see how it works. Data providers can easily set up AWS Data Exchange for Amazon S3 on top of their existing S3 buckets to share direct access to an entire bucket or specific prefixes and objects. These shared S3 objects can now be server-side encrypted with either customer-managed keys stored in AWS Key Management Service or Amazon S3 managed keys. After setup, AWS Data Exchange automatically manages subscriptions, entitlement, billing, and payment. Once data subscribers are entitled to access the provider's S3 objects, they can start their data analysis without creating or managing copies of this object in their own environment. Data analysis can then be done with AWS services such as Amazon Athena, Amazon EMR, or visualized with Amazon QuickSight. Subscribers can also train and run machine learning models with services such as Amazon SageMaker. And finally, customers can also integrate their data with third-party tools such as Tableau or Domo. And now let's see some of the key benefits. Subscriber can directly use the provider's S3 objects without needing to create or manage data copies. For data providers, they can license direct access to data hosted in their S3 buckets in just a few steps. This results in faster time to insight, as customers can easily start their analysis with AWS using the provider's data. Subscribers no longer need to set up their own S3 buckets, copy data files into those buckets, and pay associated storage fees to then use the data. And data providers minimize copies when delivering third-party data. This simplifies the process for both subscribers and providers to optimize storage costs. And finally, because subscribers access the same S3 objects that the provider maintains, subscribers are always using the latest information offered, without any additional engineering or operational work needed. We already have organizations who are using AWS Data Exchange for Amazon S3 as a key part of their data pipeline. Rearc, a data provider, can offer customers instantaneous updates to ensure they're using the latest financial and healthcare datasets offered. Subscribers can directly analyze terabytes of genomics data from Ovation, a healthcare data provider, without needing to copy the data and the associated storage costs. And finally, Vexel, a geospatial imagery provider, can now offer a self-service licensing experience and reach the millions of builders in AWS. Okay, and now we'll go in the console for a live demo. And now we're in the AWS Data Exchange console. I can see here the public catalog. And first, we'll start as a data provider. So on the left-hand side, I can see here the section to publish data with my products and my own dataset. We'll first go into my own dataset and create one together. Okay, so we'll go through the different dataset creation steps. I will create a dataset, configure a dataset, and then finalize it. We'll go together and click on Create Dataset, and I will select Amazon S3 Data Access out of the 5 delivery type. Let's say that we want to share my images in Europe. I will name this dataset accordingly, and we'll add the descriptions. I can then decide to add tags, and we'll click on creating the dataset and continuing. We'll now select the Amazon S3 locations hosting the data I want to share. Here I can see my S3 buckets. I will select one. I can decide to select the entire bucket or specific prefixes and objects within it. Here we're going to be more granular and going to only take the folder containing images in Europe along with additional information. I'll select both and we'll add the selected. We'll then add the locations. So first we need to make sure that request to pay is enabled. In this case, it is. This is recommended such that as a provider, I am responsible for storage while my subscribers, my customers, pay for data requests and transfers. I can also decide to add customer managed keys stored in KMS if the shared objects are encrypted as such. And finally, I need to make sure that my S3 bucket has the right policy for me to be able to share this data via Data Exchange. I must trust AWS Data Exchange to share this data with subscribers. In this case, the S3 bucket contains the right policy. So we'll go and continue, and we'll click on Next. Okay, we'll now review and finalize the dataset. I can see here the name, the description, any associated tags. I can also see the locations that I shared. I can see here the prefix along with an additional object. An alias, an access point alias was created, and I can use this for testing. And now we'll go and finalize this dataset. I can now create a product from this dataset and choose to offer it publicly or privately. And now we'll see from the point of view of a subscriber. I can see on the left-hand side my subscription, along with my entitled data. And for this example, I am already subscribed to a test product. There's a test product available for everyone, AWS Data Exchange for Amazon S3 test product. This product contains information on blockchain and daily transactions. Anyone can subscribe to it now to start using AWS Data Exchange for Amazon S3. I can see the subscription details, as well as my entitled datasets, support information, along with the product details and the data dictionary. So now let's look at the entitled dataset that I have. Before I start accessing and using this data, I need to make sure that I, as a subscriber, trust the provider's S3 bucket, as well as the access point created, and have the right permission in my role. Let's verify the IAM permissions. I have the right permissions here, so we're good to continue. I can see here the requester pay status, the access point alias that was created for me to access this data. I can also browse the locations that I got access to explore the bucket. We'll click through the different prefix here and see and look at all the transactions. In this case, for this example, there's a prefix per day, and this one contains a Parquet file with all the information of the day. We'll then close. I can also copy the access point alias and use it with other AWS services, such as Amazon Athena, EMR, or SageMaker Feature Store. I can use this access point alias anywhere I'd use an S3 bucket name. And now we'll go back to the slides. Again, AWS Data Exchange for Amazon S3 is now live as of today. We're super excited about this feature we talked today. We discussed how customers can easily find, subscribe to, and use third-party data files for faster time to insight, storage cost optimization, simplified data licensing management, and more. And data providers can directly license data in their existing S3 buckets in just a few steps. We then looked at a demo in the console, first as a provider creating a data set, then as a subscriber using their entitled data set. Again, my name is Jeremy Bensabat. Thank you for your time. I'm excited for you to start using AWS Data Exchange for Amazon S3.